Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Hello. Welcome to today's Saturday with Stacey YouTube class number 630. Hey! Now this is a full-length commercial-free technique-based class, so get comfortable, get yourself a cup of something, whether it's coffee or tea or whatever makes your heart happy. But my classes are full length and they start at the beginning and they end at the end, which is exactly the way a class should be. Today I've got beautiful things to show you and share with you, and I'm using product you might already have in your crafty stash. I'm using product that you might have just recently ordered, showing you another way of using it. And we've brought in some beautiful products from Craft Consortium and from Paper Favorites. Now I'm going to tell you, I've been hoarding the Paper Favorites paper for a little bit. I have 3 packs for you that are so dreamy. They've been sitting here by my desk just looking at me, saying, use me, use me, use me. And I thought I was gonna wait until 2026 to pull them out, but they won. I can't wait any longer. So I'm gonna use them today. And when I pulled them out for the SMS girls, all I heard was, Now, I am Stacey. For those of you who are new, I'm Stacey. I'm the owner of Scrapbooking Made Simple. I have a retail store here in sunny Southern California, Canyon Country, California to be exact. We are right here on Main Street in the Taco Bell Plaza. So if you're ever I can see Taco Bell from here. If you are ever here in California, come make the drive to Scrapbooking Made Simple. We're open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I think you'll enjoy the trip. We try to make it worth your while. Now, if you aren't anywhere near sunny Southern California, well, we have an online store too. Not a big online store, a little online store, but all the products that I'm going to be using here today are available there under the Saturday with Stacey class, the category Saturday with Stacey class, and you can find everything there. Quite a bit of the product that I'm going to be using today is available at many independent retailers. So we encourage you to shop local, we encourage you to shop small, and if you need to go online, well, here we are for you. Now, before I get into what we're doing today, I always have winner chicken dinner to talk about. We do 3 winners every Saturday. The first one is from the sneak peek that I do the night before the class. So if you're watching this Saturday morning at 8 a.m. sunny California time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, we're live chatting right now, and a sneak peek went out Friday night. That sneak peek is still there, and you can go post your comment and have a chance to win. And whoever wins from the sneak peek, because I give you an overview of my table of what we're going to be working with and say, what would you like to win? And then we bag up a selection of it and off it goes to you. All of our winners have been shipped with the exception of today's winner. So all the prizes are out and should be in your mailboxes soon if you haven't already received them. Now, we look at that list. We have software that randomly selects one person who's posted a comment, and the comment does need to be what you would like to win. Doesn't mean that's what you're going to get, because I've already put it in a bag. I already know what you're going to win. But but winning is winning, right? So that's one way you get to be a winner here. The next way is posting a comment on this video. This one, the one we're watching right now. You post a comment below, and every week we pick 2 lucky winners to win a $100 gift certificate to Scrapbooking Made Simple. A $100 credit goes into your online account just like magic. It just appears. And the funny thing is, some people don't realize they've won, and then they will go online to do some shopping and they go to check out and that credit appears. Would you like to use your credit? And then all of a sudden it dawns on them, oh my gosh, I was a winner chicken dinner. And then they try to go back and figure out from which video, or they'll email us and say, I didn't see it. Do you know which video I went on so I can see it? So we put $100 in your online account. And again, we have software that randomly selects 2 of you. And all you have to do is put a post here. Now this post can be about anything. It can be, hey, it can be smiles, it can be hugs, it can be had a great day, it can be looking forward to the holidays, it can be not so much looking forward to the holidays. As long as it's polite and kind, it will be approved and you go into the running. So the sneak peek, you always want to tell me what on my crafty table has your mind going, ooh. And on this video, all you have to do is post something kind. So I do have 3 winners to announce, and we're going to get into that before I start my class today. Our first winner I showed yesterday in the sneak peek, because I always show the previous week's winner and this week's in this current sneak peek. So Valerie Martin, you may already know you're a winner chicken dinner if you watch the sneak peek. Congratulations, Valerie. I have already picked your assortment of goodies. I hope you like them. I don't tell you what they are, but I do hope you enjoy it, and congratulations for being a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. Was that enough time for you to take a screenshot? Because that's the thing. Everybody wants to be able to take a screenshot. So there you go. Are you going, oh? Or maybe you did that yesterday. Because if you watched the sneak peek, you would have found out yesterday. Now our winners for the $100 gift card. And these 2 lucky ladies, like I said, they posted on the actual YouTube class. So you would post on this class right here. And again, as long as it's kind, that's all we ask, is that it be kind and it'll be approved. So our first winner is Kathy Abul. Is that Abul? Is that close, Kathy? Am I anywhere near the last name? Kathy Abul? Abul, I'm going with that. I could be completely wrong, but I know she'll forgive me, and she's super excited, and she's jumping up and down and up and down and up and down, and she's probably calling her best friend or her crafty buddy or her spouse or her kids or her fur babies to come look at the TV with her or the computer or her phone and to go, oh my gosh, that's me. Yes, it's you. Congratulations to you. You have $100 to spend. That's pretty good spends. But you're not alone. Nope, we got one more winner. And this winner also has $100 online credit to spend. And it is Brenda Walsh. Hello, Brenda. Congratulations. Wahoo, ka-choo. Woohoo. Now, all of these ladies may be on the live chat right now, and if you are, let us know so we all can congratulate you. Brenda Walsh, are you going, oh my gosh, hey. I'm very excited for you. So Brenda and Kathy and Valerie, are you ready to do the winner chicken dinner dance? Because that is absolutely mandatory. All right, so we have to sit on up. Got to have good posture. Good posture. Sit on up. And then we kind of got to get into the rhythm of it. You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, ka-choo. For you. Congratulations to the 3 of you. You have to do nothing to claim your prize. Absolutely nothing. We'll take care of it for you. Valerie will get yours off in the mail to you. Brenda and, oh my gosh, I already forgot. And Kathy, yours is already in your online account. There should be $100 credit waiting there for you. So enjoy. Buy something that makes your heart happy. Be frivolous. Buy something you would never buy for yourself. This is the time. It's free. So have fun. All right, today I've got a technique class, fun-filled class little bit of everything class where I am using paper that, like I said, I've been hoarding this paper. It's from Paper Favorites. I've been hoarding it for a little bit, not forever, but for a little bit. It was so pretty. I just let it sit there and stare at me. And I would say, okay, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. I'm as bad as you. Hello, I'm Stacey. I hoard paper. Hello. When it's so pretty, I couldn't, but it was time. It finally said, the paper literally said, Stacey, don't wait any longer, because I was gonna wait till 2026. But no, because I know that there'll be something even more beautiful coming down the way from Paper Favorites. So I have got 3 paper packs for you that I'm going to start with, and we're going to keep it pretty simple. I will tell you the 3 paper packs on the I Want It All bundle is under $23. It is a smoking hot deal. Then we're going to move into Craft Consortium, and I have got their fairy stamps. So we're going to be working with the fairy stamps, but we're going to be using acrylic inks with them. We're going to be, I've got watercolor pencils with them. That's where all the technique-y, that's where I throw everything into a big pot, and then I start to stir the pot around, and I'm like Willy Wonka. It's like, it needs something, and he throws the shoe in. That's how these videos come to be. Not one company knows what I'm doing with their product. Craft Consortium has no idea that I'm going to be using Wow embossing powder and Royal Talens Amsterdam acrylic inks, and Royal Talens doesn't know that I'm going to be using Craft Consortium's products, and Wow had no clue they were going to be in the YouTube at all. So I kind of get a lot of things. I buy a lot of things, and sometimes they sit on the shelf for a while until I can figure out what goes best with them. And that's what's happened. That's a typical YouTube is that things are sitting here on the shelf, and I know I want to do something with them, but I don't know what I want to do yet. And I'm waiting for that moment of inspiration where I can pull all the right things together to make an amazing class. And that's what I hope I have for you today. So, being that we start at the beginning, which is where everybody should start, I'm going to start with the paper pads, and we're going to make just some simple, easy cards for crafters who are new. Hey newbies, hello, welcome. You are on the right channel. We start at the beginning and we end at the end, and we assume that there's going to be somebody out there who is just starting their paper crafting journey, and they think they want to make cards, but they don't know how to make cards, or they think they want to do stamping or get into mixed media, and they don't know how. We start at the beginning. So what I'm going to bring out is those 3 paper packs. I'm going to show them to you first, and then we're just going to do some easy, fun, simple cards. Then we're going to move into the stamps from Craft Consortium and the inks, the Amsterdam inks from Royal Talens. There, I got it right. It's not Royal Amsterdam, it's Royal Talens Amsterdam acrylic inks, which we've been playing with for a while. I'm having a hard time giving them up because they're so easy to use. For pigment, I don't know that I'll ever go back. I don't know that I'll go back to a pigment ink pad. I know that's so bad. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. The acrylic ink in the metallics is so beautiful, and it dries so fast. There's no smearing or waiting or throwing embossing powder over the top of it. So I'm having a hard time moving on from the acrylic inks. They've just become a part of my crafty arsenal that I pull out all the time now. So I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. I'm Stacey. This is Scrapbooking Made Simple. Don't forget to post your comment, and super excited that you're here with me today. All right, I've got to put my glasses on so I can see everybody. Hey, down we go. Let's get started for today. All right, so I am my own camera person. I don't have help. I don't have a moderator or somebody who runs the camera for me. It's just me and you. Just me and you. Okay, so I'm going to pull over the 3 paper pads, and I'm going to show them to you. Now we have an I Want It All for all three of them. They're open stock as well, but they're beautiful. So this first one is called Alcohol Ink Flowers. And do I feel bad for hoarding it? I don't know, maybe a little bit. But it's gorgeous. So you have, it's A5 in size, so if we cut it in half, that's a perfect A6. You have 8 designs, 3 of each, so 24 sheets, and it's 200 GSM. I'm telling you, it's absolutely stunning. And I had to have it, and you can see it, you can understand why I had to have it. It's been sitting on my desk looking at me. Well, it's been sitting in what Elena calls the pantry. I have this area of stuff that I know I want to use, but I don't know what I want to use it with. And it just kind of sits over there, like I was saying. And when it takes the right product to come together to make a class. You just can't throw anything into a class. It's got to be the right product from who knows how many different manufacturers. But they generally never know that I'm doing a class with their product until I tell them, hey, by the way. Okay, so this is alcohol flowers. Then we have alcohol butterflies. Okay, I mean, is this gorgeous? All of it is so beautiful. Now we're going to be using this later on, but for just easy basic cards that you just sit down, make yourself 20, 30 cards to have ready to go. Look at the colors. So this is Paper Favorites. This is out of Denmark. We import it direct. And it stopped traffic for me. It was absolutely beautiful. So that's our alcohol butterflies. And then the last one is alcohol lavenders. Oh, and this isn't even what the class is really about. This is the paper that I chose to use with the class. But the alcohol lavenders, look at how gorgeous they are. There's the purples and the blues. And all 3 packs on the I Want It All, like I said, is around $23 for all 3, not for 1. For all 3. So I thought we would start today by just making a couple easy peasy cards. Okay. I think that's the one I want to use. It was the one on the top. Okay, so I have 2 from there. Not that I'm going to do 2, but I have options. And then let's pick something from my butterflies, the alcohol butterflies. Okay, that works. Oh, but this one's gorgeous too. It is so hard to decide. If I give myself some choices. All right, so 2 from my alcohol butterflies. And again, the paper's out of Denmark. This isn't something that is readily available here in the States. We import it directly. And they're amazing people. I already have one in purple. Let's do something in the blue, because I already have one in purple. You almost hate to cut it. All right, so I've got some pinks, I've got some purples, I've got something from each collection. And like I said, we're just going to keep it simple. Now I also have, I brought in from Katie Sue. We did these in the Christmas. It's their stash, I guess they call it. Last week we did the peelables. These are different. These are printed onto cardstock that you can then either fussy cut or die cut out. And the peelables, which are stickers, which are wonderful, you get 48. Here you get 130 birthday sentiments and verses ready to cut out or use with dies. So we did this for Christmas too. We had these for the Christmas collections where I think there's 40, is there 40 sheets in here? There's a lot. I think there might be 40 sheets of paper in here. And if you don't mind die cutting or trimming out, this is a whole lot of sentiments for not a lot of price. So I think I'm gonna pull this one. And then I wanna show you, just so you can see. Oh, that one's nice too. Maybe that one. Some of them, they have left oodles of room around so that you can take and die cut around it. Or you can take it and make it the entire inside of your card. They've given you lots of room. You can make this the card front and decorate around it. They've given you, on some of them, they've given you oodles of room, and on others, they've made it a little tighter to where you would just die cut or trim them out. But these can be cards all on themselves. All you gotta do is cut it down and decorate, and that's your card front. So they've given you a little bit of everything in here, and it is a really nice stash. There's just oodles, tons of things, tons of different fonts, tons of different sentiments. Did I pull that one? I like that one too. Thinking of You. So we're gonna play with those, and I think I'll try to use those as the sentiments on some of these. So to keep these easy and simple, I'm just gonna straighten out my cuts, and we're just gonna make some fast cards and bing, bang, boom, and then we're gonna move on. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my gosh. Let's see, what paper do I have? Oh, yes, please. That works. I like that. I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to do that, and then that on there. Because this has got a little bit of gold going in it. All right, so some Stacey tape, and we're just going to make some fast and easy cards. So just some Stacey tape to get it down. Line it up, give myself a little room. Trim it out. Oh, that's not so bad. I might just leave it just like this. That's pretty good. No reason to mess with it. And then maybe a little bit of the blue. And just mat it. So if this is the first time you're making cards, look at what you can do with just paper. If you want to make this as part of your layout, what a beautiful embellishment. You could have made this a little pocket and tuck some pictures in it. But just such a pretty, pretty piece of paper. Okay, and I think the last thing I'll do, oh, not big enough, mat it on a piece of white. Just to finish it out. One, two, three, A, B, C. Even the newest of makers can do this. There's no wet glue, some scissors, some cardstock that you can pick up at your local craft store, local paper crafting store if you have one. Otherwise, even at a larger box store, they'll have your cardstock. You just go in there and grab a nice assortment. And with a pair of scissors or a trimmer, you may not want to invest into a trimmer until you're sure you like what you're doing. Then just go for it with a pair of scissors and be kind to yourself. The cuts are not going to be exact, but they're going to be close. Look at how cute is that? How fast was that? I need to move these. There we go. It was super cute and super fast. And now let's figure out what we're going to have it say. happy birthday. Now, if you have a die cutter, you can take and die cut out your happy birthday. They've given you lots of room. Or if you're like me and a just go for it kind of girl. So now I'm really gonna, now that I've got it out, I'm really gonna crop it down. Okay. And maybe I back that on a little bit of that. Do I want to back it on the gold? And I have some foam tape that I can use to pop it with. Bam. How beautiful is that? How fast was that? That's like a 5-minute card. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. So there's one done. Put my card samples up there. Let's grab, oh, I was gonna do a slim line. Okay, well, darn it, I was gonna do a slim line. Let's grab the pink. Do I want the red? Let's try with the pink and see what we get. I was going to do a slim line. Straighten up my cut a little bit. Just so it's not quite as wonky. Well, we'll see. Let's see what color I want to put behind it. Do I just want to go, oh, this doesn't have any gold in it. So maybe I'll take a very fine layer of black. Just a really fine matte, super fine. I don't want it to be too thick. Okay, that looks good. Just a super fine mat of black, just to kind of give it some separation. That looks good, but I think there are the fire trucks. I actually think that looks better. Or maybe even a baby pink. Nope. I think that looks good. It really sets it off. And we'll make that a little bit whiter. So first 3 cards, easy peasy, any level of crafter. Now, of course, I could come back in here and I could add to it, make them more than what they are. And you'll see the girls have done beautiful samples. And then, last but least, maybe a piece, just a little piece of white behind it. That works. So bing, bang, boom. Don't have a lot of time. This paper does the work for you. But I want to show newbies that anything is possible. Scissors and some adhesive. If you can glue it, you can do it. And let's see what sentiment I want to put on. Leaving myself a lot of room around it. That way I can trim it out. Thinking of you. And I think I'll do it in that purple. Just a little frame around it. And 2 cards done. tiniest little mat, just so it's set off against the pattern paper. So easy and simple. Not everything has to be complicated, and sometimes you just want to sit down and decompress and just make some fun things that are easy, that when you're done you feel totally accomplished. And other times you want to delve in and get your fingers inky and play with techniques and try. It just, different moods for different days. I'm so happy with these. I think I'm going to use these and send these out to somebody. Can't tell you who, but I might. Gotta put that there. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to dig through some of this stuff to show you some of these cards before I'm going to finish what I'm doing. So the last one I have is the lavender. I need to do one in the lavender. That one's beautiful. I think I'll do this one in the lavender. I want some mirror paper behind it. Do I want some glitter paper behind it? No, I don't want the glitter paper. That I'm sure of. I think the black will be, well, if I keep it small, it separates it nicely from the mirror. I keep that black small. It separates it nicely from the mirror. Do a real small little mat. Oh, I didn't straighten this cut up. Oh, can you see how bad that is? That was awful. I was just gonna go for it. That's better. And then we will have made simple cards with the paper favorites, which I'm going to use again. I'm going to do a tiny little mat all the way around, just a hair. So for me, if one mat is good, 12 must be better. My mom was that way at the grocery store. If she bought, if Clorox was on sale, if one bottle was good and it had limit 6, well, 6 had to be better. Give that one a big mat too. Let that gold really stand out. So sometimes paper crafting really can be just this easy. I know I tend to get in my own head and think that I have to do more. And really, I don't. Really, I just need to make something that makes my heart happy, because if it makes my heart happy, chances are whomever receives it, their heart's gonna be happy. We're always trying to outdo when really there's no reason. I know I look on social media all the time and I'm like, oh man, that's so good. And then I think, well, can I do that? Should I do that? And I try to outdo when really all I want to make is something pretty that when it's given, the person knows that there was love put behind it. I love doing my techniques. I do. I'm a technique junkie. But I also love just feeling like, oh my gosh, I just made that and it's perfect. Well, that cut was not perfect. And it didn't have to be too much. I think we all kind of fall into that trap of FOMO, or wanting to, seeing something and thinking that we need to be exactly like that, when really we don't. We just need to be ourselves. We're good enough as is, even when our cuts aren't perfectly straight. That's what makes it mine, because my cuts are not perfectly straight, and I'm okay with it. I don't know, do I want to back it in black or do I want to back it in white? No, the black's going to be too harsh. Got lots of little paper bits, and I don't think I want to back it in. Oh, well, that is very pretty. Didn't I use that purple? I used that purple on the pink, so maybe I should pull in some of the pink instead of the purple. That's too loud. That doesn't work for me. That's a no can do. That's definitely a no can do. See, I'm really good about knowing what I don't want. I struggle in the knowing, well, is that what I want? Did I just look at that piece of paper? I'm going to look at it one more time. I'm going to look at the light pink one more time, just to be sure. Yeah, that's no. That's definitely no. They're just the wrong hue, but that purple sure does look good. I don't know if I have a big enough piece. Okay. Yeah, that purple sure does look nice. We'll go with it. And maybe on this one I popped the whole card. Now you would do a better job of putting down the foam tape or the adhesive. If I was doing this, I would probably put foam tape in each corner. I'm just getting enough down so that I can finish it off for you. That still is a little wide. That's better. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And Paper Favorites takes all the credit for designing the paper. And I think 3 packs of A5 paper, 24 sheets in each, for right around $23 is a smoking hot price. Especially knowing that we have to import it. You would think it would cost more. All right, right, so this one's almost done. That gives us 3 easy peasy cards made out of all 3 of the new Paper Favorites paper packs. The alcohol ink lavender, the alcohol ink flowers, and the alcohol ink butterflies. I would send you to your local independent craft store to buy it, but this isn't a brand that is readily available here in the United States. I found them. I loved them. I've been working with them for years now. I remember sending the first email. You don't know who I am. I'm this little store in Canyon Country, California. And literally 10 minutes later, I get a response. And this is years ago. He says, I know exactly who you are. You're the crazy lady who walks down the aisles in Germany. I'm like, oh, he does know who I am. I think he said, you never stop at our booth. I'm like, did you ever invite me? But we got over that really fast. I forgave him for calling me the crazy American lady, and he forgave me for not stopping by his booth. Look at how pretty! Oh! They're a wonderful company. I'm very fortunate to be able to do business with them. Let's see, what do we want? I love these. I love them as much as I love the peelables. Peelables, you don't have to add any adhesive to their stickers. But these you could ink. You could use a circle die, an oval die, a rectangle die, a square die. How do you want to die cut them out? Or a punch. Or you just go for it and freehand it like I am, or use your trimmer. But what did it say, like 130 sentiments? That's a lot of sentiments. And I think I'm going to use that. Should I use the gold? Oh, I'm going to have to cut myself another piece. Hello, brand new piece of gold. We'll just get it down. So what do you think? Are we yay about his new paper pads? They always come out with such beautiful stuff. The Christmas ones were stunning. You guys loved the Christmas ones as much as I did. Happy birthday. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All done out of his new paper packs. And they're just lovely. Yay. So those are these 3. The alcohol ink butterflies, the alcohol ink lavender, and the alcohol ink flowers. And then I used birthday wishes, over 130 birthday sentiments and verses ready to cut out or use with dies from Katie Sue. This is not in the I Want It All. I left that separate, but I don't know how to pass up. I had to have all of this. I had to have it all. I did. And then I have one card here because I was going to show you some other samples, but I've got one card here where I don't feel so bad because Claire did a slimline. Now I've got way more samples than this, but look at how she took one sheet of paper and then she took the exact same sheet of paper and she just fussy cut around and popped it on top and she made her own decoupage. Yes, she did. So I've got oodles of samples for you that I'll share with you at the end, and still think I should have done a slimline, but I don't feel bad because Claire did one. And we'll move this out of the way. And we'll move on because now we get into the technique-y stuff. So I've got my gel plate from Jelly Arts in front of me. I have gotten used to this. I have gotten used to having it down as my grip pad, as my palette, as my everything. I have just gotten used to it. I typically, when I'm stenciling, I typically use the stencil and stamp tool from Sizzix because you can layer your stencils. I typically will use that when I'm stamping, but today I'm going to be stamping with acrylic inks. Before we get to the acrylic inks, I want to do some embossing powder because I want to show you both ways of doing it. So I've got my Wow embossing powder here, and I'm going to pull some white paper, just grab some white paper, and we're going to be using the Craft Consortium fairy stamps. So I'm just using Stacey Park 110-pound white paper. That's all I'm using. Now, see, it holds my paper. Like, it really holds my paper. Nothing moves, not even the gel plate moves. And this is the 8x10. I'm telling you, if you can afford the 8x10, I recommend it. There's even one bigger. I've ordered it for myself to see how big it is and if I like it. But I just love that nothing moves. It makes my heart so happy. So I'm gonna play with the fairies today, and we've got the whole collection. I can't, is it Lavera? Lavera Grace? I think it's Lavera Grace is the designer of these. And apparently she is a very well-known artist. And I have beautiful, beautiful fairies for you. And I've got the toadstools and the mushrooms. I've got the entire collection. And they are split into 2 I Want It Alls. So in total, there's 20 stamps. So we've split them. All the fairies and the butterflies are in one bundle. And all the snails and toadstools, and I'll show them all to you. The accoutrements, the added little elements to everything are in the second bundle. But we do, and then we have them open stock, so you can just buy one if you just love 111. And so the main bundle has it has the fairies, it has I think it has the butterflies, and I think it has the sentiments. But I'll go through them. I want to play with them to begin with. And I'm going to start with Now typically I would do this on my Sizzix stencil and stamp tool, so we're just going to see how it goes. And maybe I don't start with this fairy. Maybe I start with one of the pretty, maybe I start with the, so heat embossing is different than a dry embossing. Dry embossing we use with an embossing folder through our Big Shot machine. Heat embossing we're going to use with an embossing medium and a stamp or a stencil, where we use a powder. That is ground up plastic is what this powder is. And when you heat it to the right temperature, it goes from a plastic, from a powdery substance to a solid substance, and it changes colors dramatically. So let me put these here. And let me ink up my stamp. So now I'm using Wow Embossing Medium. This is like a pigment type of ink that stays wet long. It's not sticky. It's not a glue. It's an embossing medium where it stays wet long enough for the embossing powder to just kind of stick to it. Again, it's not a glue. And I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to old-fashioned stamp without a positioner, and we're going to see how I do. So because I'm on kind of a gush pad, I get a really good contact between my stamp and my paper because my stamp is gushing into my paper. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. I'm going to pull up. And hopefully there's a watermark there that I can see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to do it one more time. And 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Now the benefit of a stamp positioner is that if I missed a spot, I could re-ink it and put it back down and it will line up perfectly and re-stamp over the top. This I only have one chance. I can't go back. So we'll see what we got. We'll start with the first one. And I'll make a little funnel for my embossing powder. And I've got my powder. And does powder go old? You know, I don't know that it necessarily goes old. I think the difference is maybe the humidity. Maybe if you've had it for 20 years, you might find that the humidity, you know, maybe it's clumped it a little bit. But if I drizzle it over the top and let gravity do the work, you can see where my stamped image was. Now, this is awesome, but you can't leave it like this. You can't be done. You can't tape it down to a beautiful piece of paper and say, oh, isn't that lovely? Because right now, all it is a powder. And it's a powder that's on top of something that is not glue. And even if it was glue, this is not the prettiest of colors. And if you don't heat set it, it's going to just wipe away. Whether you leave it there for a day, a week, a month, eventually, it's just going to wipe away if you do not heat set. And you can't use a blow dryer. That's not going to do the trick. You got to use a heat tool. I should have cleaned between my stamp. Let's see if I can get a little bit of this. Yeah, so I should have cleaned between my stamp because I've got a little bit of powder. Or I don't necessarily want it. But we'll heat set this one. And I think I'll do one more. Maybe I'll do one in the fairies. Let's see. Let's get another piece of white paper. We'll heat set too. And again, just 110 pound basic white cardstock. Does it have to be 110 pound? No, it doesn't. And should I clean my stamp? Well, it's got Wow embossing medium on it. It's not going to hurt the stamp at all, but you can go in there and give it a nice little clean. You can run it through water, a little Dawn dishwashing detergent, a baby wipe, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. Now, I've been using this stamp. That's why it's got all those pretty colors on there. I'm going to see if I can get a decent embossing out of it without being on a stamp positioner. So I'm going to show you the embossing first because this is kind of the accepted method of doing this. But then we're going to move on to a different method where you don't have to have a heat tool or embossing powder or an embossing medium. See, this is a bigger stamp, so we'll see how I do. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and up. Time will tell. Not bad. Let me take this off right here. I think I must have a little bit on my block there. Just a dry paintbrush just to get all the little dots off. Some people use a static. All right, so I have 2 to do. That's good. Let's put my embossing powder right back into the jar because you use so little of it. And this is Wow's super fine embossing powder, and this is polished gold. So this is the super fine. That means it is for detail. You want that powder to grab all those little nooks and those little crannies. Now this one's I'm not as happy with this one, but we're gonna go with it. All right, so let's bring over our heat tool and start with this one because it's been sitting and it can sit and sit and sit. But once you add the heat, that's when magic happens. So I hold in one place until I start to see it turn colors. And you will see it change color. So look at the difference. Now that it's heat set versus not. Huge difference, enormous difference. That's beautiful, that gold is gorgeous. This is just kind of a yucky brown, but that is stunning. Once the plastic melts into a powder, or I'm sorry, once the powder melts into a solid, And how long does it take to dry? Once your paper's cool, you're good to go. So while your paper is still warm, you don't want to touch it, but once your paper is cool to the touch, you're good to go. So there's one. Let's do our fairy. And I want to see it turn color so you can see the difference, right? And done. Beautiful. And once my paper is cool to the touch, my plastic is solid again. It's not melty. So it's never really wet. It's that it's melted and not melted. Now, what are we going to do with these? Well, we're going to play with them real quick. And I'm going to be using watercolor pencils today. So sadly, it has been confirmed that Brunzil is absolutely, positively not coming back. These are a Royal Talens product. They are a beautiful, we have the colored pencils and the watercolor pencils. What we have left, we put on sale. 50% off, it's gotta go, because they're never gonna come back. So we are saying goodbye to Brunzil. And like I said, we've got colored pencils, watercolor pencils. We even have a few left of the coloring and drawing kit, where you get the colored pencils, the metallic pencils. You can see how much I've used these. Oh my gosh, look at that poor little one. The metallic pencils, the watercolor pencils, and then you lift it up and you've got all the colored pencils underneath. We have a few of these left and they are all on sale at 50% off. So we gotta say goodbye, because we're gonna have to find a new colored pencil and watercolor pencil company. Makes my heart sad. All right, so, let's go ahead and let's play. I'm gonna play with some watercolor. Now, how does watercolor work? Let me show that to you real quick. It goes on like a pencil. Looks kind of like a crayon. But when you add a little bit of water, and it doesn't take much, it turns into a paint. So we took that and we made this. Now watercolors will blend. You can throw some color here, and you can throw some color here. Flat brush would probably be better, but that's okay. I'm gonna get my yellow a little wet. And I'm gonna get my red a little wet. And then I blend them into each other. So you can blend. Watercolor pencils are easy peasy. What you can't do with them is put your color down, make your paint, and then while your paint is still wet, it's still wet, go in and color on top of it. What that does is it leaves scratches that I will never get out. So you don't want to take a watercolor pencil and put it on top of something that is still wet. If you're taking the pencil directly to the paper. So if I have here, I want a flat brush. That one's got some green in it. So I move it around and then I come back in while it's still wet. It will lay color down and you'll be like, oh, yay, look at that. But then when you go to move the color, it won't move. Not good. Not what we're looking for. So, now my colored pencil is wet. And you also don't take a watercolor pencil. You do it with another color. You don't take a watercolor pencil and dip it in water and then come over to use it. That's not how a watercolor pencil works either. Because I'm going to be left with scratches. And those scratches cannot be blended out. So let's say now this pencil's wet. I can't use this pencil again until it's dry, unless I want to take the ink straight off or take the paint straight off the pencil. And I'll show you that in just a minute. So let's go here. And you say, oh, I love that color. I need more of it. Well, you can either add more by coming down here and blending that into what you've already got going. Or you can take a piece of scratch paper and put some color there. And do it this way. Palette paint is what that's called. And I just add more to a new place because I don't go over my same where my paper's wet. Or I can do straight from the tip. Now, the minute I do that, my pencil's going to be wet. So when I want to use it again as a pencil, I'm going to have to let it dry first. But you can get out a beautiful concentration of color. Straight from the pencil. So there's lots of ways to use a watercolor pencil and a couple ways you'd like to avoid. But they are easy, they're affordable, they're accessible to just about every level of crafter. And once they dry, they're dry and they're good to use again. Now I'm using my Fusion watercolor brushes because this is a watercolor pencil. I'm not using watercolor paper, I'm just using regular paper. So now I can come in and less is more. Less is more. So I need to leave negative space. And when I mean negative space, I mean white space. I don't want to come in and color the entire thing red, because if I do that, there's no place for that paint to move. You're just going to make a solid color image, and we want to do more than that. And you will see me do this a lot. This is me taking water off my brush, almost to the point where it's a dry brush. And I'm pulling my color up and out. And with just a little bit of paint. So I want it a little bit darker at the bottom because that's where my shadow is. And I want it a little bit lighter at the top because that's where my highlight is. And with the tiniest little bit of water, I'm not using an alcohol marker where to do this you would need 2 or 3 markers. I'm using something that is incredibly forgiving. And probably for the price of 2 alcohol markers, you can have the whole set. At least 2 Copics. And I just go in there and add a little water and make that pencil into a paint. And I'm not trying to be perfect, I'm just trying to stay within the lines. Super easy. So this one, I'm going to put my paint, my pencil right around the bottom to make my paint. I left a lot of negative space. Stay out of that little. And I'm just moving it around. A little bit more water. And a little bit lighter at the top. And a little darker at the bottom. Now I might want to go back and add a little bit more dark to my bottom. So I don't want to put my my watercolor pencil on it because it's still wet. So I either choose to do some there and pick up that color. And just add a little bit more towards the bottom. That way my top looks even lighter. The darker your bottom, the darker here, the lighter it looks there. A little goes a long way. And then I can choose to do my green. So that stem is going to be hard to add some pencil into. Easiest thing to do for that stem, just what I did here. Oh, that might be too foresty of a green. Oh, that's my teal. That's a better green. So these aren't colored pencils. They're watercolor pencils. Colored pencils behave completely different. So you need to look at what you own. Does it say watercolor or does it say colored pencils? It says watercolor pencils, well then this is what we're doing. If it says colored pencils, that's a whole different animal. Whole different type of pencil. So now I've got and I've done this with embossing powder. And that embossing powder resists the water. So it just completely resists the water. Doesn't get covered over with my paint at all. Super easy. Let's take this one real fast. So I'm just going to follow her dress all the way down. Follow her dress all the way down. Look at how much white space I've left. And I'm going to come in and make that paint. And because I've left all that white space, there's a place for my paint to go. A little bit more water. And then I can do her little top. I mean, talk about quick and easy coloring. Watercolor pencils were one of the very first things I learned how to use. Do a little bit around the wings. And just kind of pull that color lightly into the center. And the less water you have on your paintbrush, the more it will soften it out, almost like you're dry brushing. Almost like a dry brush. Just trying to add a little color to her. Just a little bit of color. And then for me, I would do maybe just a dot. See that dot? That dot of red? Add a little flush to her face. And then maybe just a little bit of black, not much, in her hair. Just so it's not stark white. And bam, and you can see that embossing glistening at you. So this is one way of doing this. Embossing powder, embossing medium, absolutely. But what if you don't have an embossing medium? What if you don't have a heat tool? Maybe you're not sure yet, and they're not inexpensive. They're around $30. And then you buy the colors of embossing powder that make your heart happy. And there's probably, I don't know, 300-400 different colors of embossing powder that might make your heart happy. What if you decide you want to do it simpler? Can you? Well, in the past, not so much. So in the past, we've always used a pigment-based ink in an ink pad. That's what we've had. That's what we've used. Now the thing with a pigment-based ink pad is usually your metallics and your whites are done in pigment base. Oxide from Tim Holtz is a pigment-based product. That's how it gets those beautiful blends, but it takes longer to dry. Sometimes a pigment ink doesn't dry at all. You could come back 3 days later and still smudge it, because it's not absorbing into the paper. It's sitting on top. So a pigment-based ink pad takes a really long time to dry. Typically, we will stamp with a metallic pigment-based ink. We'll throw clear embossing powder over it, not like the gold we did today. We'll heat set, and that will encapsulate the pigment from the pad, and that way it doesn't smear anywhere. That's one way of doing it. So if you have lots of pigment-based inks, you can buy just a clear embossing powder. You don't have to have an embossing medium because that pigment ink acts as the embossing medium. That's how we've always known it to be done until I started working with Royal Talens. And this has been like the most expensive thing in the world for me because I want it all. Let me tell you, I'm a brand ambassador for them, but I don't get paid. It's not a paying gig, it's an education gig. Now, it is my honor and privilege to be a brand ambassador. I don't want to be paid. I am learning so much through the educational programs. It is, I would pay them to let me do the educational programs, but they're kind enough to say, no, Stacey, as a brand ambassador, that is welcome to you. So we started playing with acrylic inks in October. The entire month of October's in the studio with Stacey classes every Tuesday was using acrylic inks. I did not know what I did not know until I knew it. I love acrylic inks. Now you're like, acrylic inks, I've heard of acrylic paint. Yes, paint that has an acrylic binder. That's why it's called an acrylic paint. Ink with an acrylic binder. That's why it's called an acrylic ink. If it was pigment-based ink and it had gum arabic as the binder, it would be a watercolor, but it has an acrylic base. And acrylic is hard and when it dries permanent, and it dries water resistant, and it dries fast. And I didn't know acrylic ink is not acrylic paint watered down. It is an actual pigmented based ink, but acrylic as the binder. It is like a thermoplastic, plexiglass, very similar to plexiglass. Acrylic, like what you paint your house with. They have put it into inks and it has made my magic happen. So I did these in the traditional way that we do them. Embossing powder, beautiful. If you've got it, use it, absolutely. But I wanted to show you how you could do this with acrylic ink as well. Not needing the powder, not needing the medium, not needing the heat tool, just the ink. So let's tilt back down, shall we? Because the ink is like, well, we have it on sale. I've got to take it off sale. They're going to get upset with me at some point. The ink is on sale for, I think, $7.99 a jar, whereas an acrylic or a metallic pad, this is black, but if it was a metallic pad, is usually more than $7.99 for a metallic ink pad. But what you can do with this is so much more than what you can do with an ink pad. So I'm going to bring my stamp back over, and I'm going to move my plate, my gel plate, off to the side. And again, this one is by Jelly Arts, and I love it. I think I need bigger. And I'm going to use my craft mat because I don't see a throwaway palette. Do I have a throwaway palette? I know I do. I'm trying to think of where I would have put it. Well, we're just going to use my mat. Is it over there? Oh, I never sure where I put this, my tearaway palettes. All right, well, we're just going to go for it. So I've got the same stamp here, and I've got I'm just going to go look. Hold on just a moment. It's going to drive me crazy because I know I have one. I just don't know where. Nope, it's not there. Okay, well, Shucks. All right. I should have one in my do not touch bin. Okay, so I'm going to take my ink. Oh, let's start. Copper is back. Copper was out of stock and I didn't think I could get it for a while, but it's back. So I can take my ink and you shake it up because the pigment's at the bottom. Shake, shake, shake. Let me cut up some paper before we get started. So in case you didn't know, my classes aren't edited. They're not edited, they're not scripted. And while I know what product I'm going to be using, I don't necessarily know what we're going to make. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants because that's how I think most crafters work. Most people don't have things planned out, or if they do, it often changes while you're creating. You thought you were going to do one thing, and then as you go, it turns into something completely different. All right. So I'm going to take my copper, and I'm going to put it straight onto my craft mat. This is my non-stick, non-slip craft mat. Mine has silicone under the bottom of it so it doesn't move anywhere. And I'm just going to put some down. There was a line right there. Here. And then I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to stamp into it. And let's see what I get. One, two, three, A, B, C, and up. No, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more, but you can see the metallic. So let me put just another little drop down. Doot, 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 doot. And let's try again. So the thing about the acrylic ink is that a little goes a long way. It lasts forever, and you can use it for many, many different applications. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and up. Oh yeah, there we go. And you can see the metallic. Now, I still have ink here. So with an acrylic, you are going to want to clean your stamp. Once you're done, you don't want to let it sit there and wait because it will dry and become permanent on your stamp. Now, I don't mind that for my stamps. I'm okay with that. You might not be. That's a little light, but that's okay. That was a leftover. I'm going to change my colors. This one came out perfect, but this one's not bad. A little bit of her wing is gone, but that's okay. It's not bad. I'm going to change my colors. Whoop, right, just get that. And I guess the most important thing is that I'm not waiting. I could not do that with a metallic. With a metallic ink pad. That would be a mess. That would be bad. Okay, so let's try another color. That was the copper. Let's try the gold. And it may be that your first one or two doesn't come out exactly perfect. That's okay. This is about crafting. It's about experimenting. And you get so much in here. You'll be hard pressed to get through it all anytime soon. They are a fine art product. So not something you would typically see in a paper crafting store. down there, but all we can do is try. One, two, three. A, B, C, and up. Oh, not bad. I'm going to go again. I think I needed more. That feels better. Now I might have too much. If it's not one, it's the other. One, two, three, and up. Oh, see a lot, but that's okay. I'm gonna like that one too. Let's do it again. One, two, three, and up. Yeah, let's go again. One, two, three, and up. Yeah, and let's go again. And I can just keep going and going and going because I still have acrylic ink down here. One, two, three, and up. And I just keep going and going and going. And the thing about them is that they dry super fast. There's no embossing powder that needs to go over the top of it. Ooh, I have made a jillion of these. Look at how beautiful that gold is. Look at the copper. So pretty. Let's do it in pewter because we can. And then we're gonna color. No, I so desperately want to stamp this and then try and pull it. Don't know that I've got enough there. No, I don't. And then let it dry and then pull. Okay, that's a whole nother class, but you get where I'm going. Okay, let's wash it down a little bit. And let's dry it off a little bit. And let's do pewter. So I'm gonna need some more white paper. It's a good thing I have white paper. I love the acrylic ink. I love that it's fast. I love that it works. I love that it dries. I love that it's waterproof so that I can go over it with all my different mediums, my pencils, my pastes, my paints. Okay, so I'm gonna do pewter. Shake, 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 shake. One, two, three, up. beautiful. Let's do it again. Maybe another drop or two of pewter. Drop, drop. So the reason I'm not using my stencil and stamp tool is because I need a block so I can smudge. The stencil and stamp tool is really big. So it would be hard to smudge it into my acrylic ink. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and up. Oh, perfect. Let's do it again. I must have 14 of these. Let's see if I still have enough. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and perfect. And the metallic is there. Perfect. And I don't see any big gloppies. Do that with a pigment-based ink pad right afterwards. Go ahead, try. Okay, so we've got some beautiful ones. The copper, beautiful. Gold, beautiful. These are beautiful. What are they? Beautiful. Okay, so let's play with them. So I can stack them on top of each other. They're good to go. I'm gonna wipe off my stamp. So now I am using the Fairies stamps by Craft Consortium. And there's, I think, 8 or 9 different fairies. You know, I'm going to stamp this one too, as long as we're here. I'm going to put these to the side. And I'm just going to open this one. We'll peel this one off and we'll try another one. It's a pretty fairy. Beautiful image. So these are the ones I'm going to want to use. So let's cut up a little bit more white paper. And let's see what we get. I think I'm just going to use that pewter because it's right here. Shake, shake, shake. Line. Paper. I'm just kind of smudge into it. And let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, and up. Oh, a little light over there. A little light on one side. Let's try again. I'm going to add a little bit more. The rest of it was good. Now I bet that's too much. Oh, she's barely going to fit. So this isn't something you're going to want to put into an empty stamp pad, because when it dries, it's going to dry as a solid. It's you're not going to be able to reactivate it with water or anything like that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she's perfect. Okay, she's perfect. Let's do one more and see if I can get one more. And I'm just using my craft mat. One, two, three. A, B, C. Oh, she's good too. So just the perfect little stamped image, done in metallics and drying at the speed of light. Whereas a pigment-based ink pad, we would have to throw clear embossing powder over the top of it and encapsulate the pigment-based ink, or we would need to let it sit to dry. All right, let's play. So I've got this one, and I can move this back over now. And I can zoom on it in a little bit for you. And now I can do the same thing. I can go over her with my watercolor pencils. So let's do the blue again. The blue is very pretty. Or let's take the green. See what the green looks like. So I'm going to follow her dress, just like I did before. The difference is this is a flat ink, so there's no raised embossing elements anywhere. Your pencil goes over it really easy, and because it is an acrylic ink, it is not going to move with water. Let's bring over my water dish. And we just turn that pencil into a paint. And we left lots of negative space, so there's places for that paint to go. If I colored her entire dress in with the green, you would just have a solid green dress. There would be no highs, no lows. There we go. Pretty. And then maybe we do her wings in just a little blue. just a little blue. I mean, I colored almost nothing in there. But look at how quick her dress was done. Bing, bang, boom. And look at my metallic. So for me, who likes everything, I like the bing, bang, boom of it all. I like to get in there. I like to play. For me, the acrylic ink allows me to use all my wet mediums knowing that the ink is never going to move. I've never had that before. We've always stamped in black, and I love this black. This is waterproof black ink from Jacquard, and it's amazing, but I've never been able to stamp in colors or metallics and just get right to it. I like that. I'm a right to it kind of girl. And no matter how much water I add, that ink is not moving. So a little bit of blue maybe on her, and then maybe a little like dots of brown. Dots. I don't need any more than dots. Where I didn't add any water, I can add a little bit of black. Kind of move that into the brown. And then just a dot of red on her cheek. Just add a little color. And look at the metallic. That's acrylic ink. That's not heat embossing. Look at that. Oh. Okay, let's do another. And let's use the teal. I'm going to follow her dress. Just like I've been doing. In her bodice. So look at all the negative space I've left. And all I'm trying to do is stay within my lines and pull the color into each other. So I started at the top and I pulled down. Now I'm going to the bottom and I'm pulling up. You are using fine art quality products, and I'm not an artist. But the better quality you use to start with, the better your end result and the easier it is for you. And just like that, her dress is done. You want to make your non-crafty friends feel like they're rock stars? Have them play with watercolor pencils. And you can see the metallic coming through. Now, what about her wings? Well, what if we did her wings let's do them in the blue. So I'm going to add just a little bit of color. I'm not doing too much. Just a little bit of color. So just like we did before. Just kind of move those colors down. Oh, there's our motorcycles for the night. Never fails. And what if I wanted to add a little something more to my wings? They're beautiful as is. But what if I wanted to make them more than what they are? A little bit of water moves everything around. Okay, her wings are beautiful as they are, and they've got the metallic coming through. But what if I took them and I added some of the pearl acrylic ink? So we did this last week too. I played with this last week. This is Amsterdam acrylic paint, just like we were using with the metallics. The only difference is this is an interference color. So typically we do it on black. I've been showing it on black for weeks. Now you can see how fast it dries. Typically we do it on black. And the colors are amazing. What if we did it on white? We don't usually use interference that frequently on white. And you can see how quickly it dries. The colors are beautiful. So if you go to last week's class, or several of the In the Studio with Stacey, you'll see me using these. And they start out like milky white, but when they dry, it's heaven. So on black, magical. On white, until we start to play. So I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that drop? Maybe I should move the drop. Is that in the frame? Maybe I need to move it down. Let's see. Zoop. Maybe I move my drop. Here, can we see here? Should I move this over? Put my drop there. Okay, that I know you can see. So a little water. Now I'm using a watercolor brush, and you're going to want to clean this brush immediately following, because if this paint dries in this brush, well, the brush is done. I even have too much on here. And I come in. And I lay a coat over the top of what I'm doing. Now it goes on transparent, so it's kind of hard to see where you've painted. I find it for me easier if I pick it up. Oh, because then you can see what you've painted and what you haven't. And a little bit of green over that blue. Now, as it dries, you can still see all the veins to her wings. But then as you shift it, and as it dries, that interference color is going to come up and wink at you. Because it's transparent, you can still see through it, but then when the light catches it just at the right angle, it becomes magic on white. It is magic on white. Absolute magic. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to go back and do hers because I can. Because I put way too much down. And you can't put it back in the bottle. A little goes a long way. And at some point, you're going to want to pick it up so you can see what you've done. Now again, looking at it straight on, but then you start to move it, but looking at it straight on, but then you move it. Oh, it's a magic trick. It's a Royal Talens, holy smokes, artichokes magic trick. And it dries in a heartbeat. It dries so fast. Could you do this with your fine tech? You could. You would have to seriously water it down because that fine tech is so strong in pigment and in color. Oh, there. Oh, isn't that a beautiful card? Wait, what? Yes, that's a beautiful card. Holy smokes, artichokes. It's like it's like those specialty cards that when you look at it one way, it's one thing, and when you look at it at the other, it's something else. Yet you could go in and you could add a little bit along here and just do out her dress a little bit. I mean, it's beautiful. And you lose nothing. My little dot. Give her a little rouge and a little for her hair. And she's looking magical. She is looking magical. Let's do another one. Okay, so let's wipe this up. I put too much, even a drop was too much. And let's go with our red. Let's get her all colored. And I'm just zooming through this. I used acrylic ink, not an embossing powder or a pigment-based ink. There, her dress is done. And as it dries, the acrylic ink will come right back on through and you'll be able to see it. Look at how pretty is that? So now what do we do for her wings? Well, do we use the red? No. Do we use the yellow? Maybe we use the yellow. Okay, so let's do a little bit of, maybe we'll do a little bit of the blue. I like the blue. And maybe we use a little bit of the yellow. So just a little bit of blue. Just to add some body and some weight to the wings. A little bit of blue. I'm just kind of smushing it in there because I know I'm going to go over the top of it with one of my interference colors. They call them pearl colors. Okay, so I got a little bit of blue going in there. And then let's go over it with some pearl. Pearl yellow. Is that, yeah, you can see that? Yeah, I think you can see that. Still too much, Stacey, too much. Now I need to lift it so I can see where I still need to paint. So blue and then pearl. Blue and then pearl. And once that pearl dries, almost, pretty dry. If I wanted to add more blue back in, I can go back over the top. See how I've drawn some more blue in? Just in case I wanted just a little bit more. They're so much fun. And they're not over-colored. You didn't have to go in there and be an expert at coloring. I am certainly not, but with a couple pencils, we can make magic happen. These are way too fun. And it's using the pearl where we typically use it in black. Now we are using it on the white for just the right effect. Just the right effect. I haven't colored her yet. I'm just following her dress. And just color it in. I'm not thinking too hard. I'm not over analyzing. I see her little hand there. And I'm just coloring her dress. It stuck my hand. And then I think I'm going to do her wings in the teal, just a little bit. A little bit of teal on her wings. Not much. And just move it around, fill in some of the space. Leave some of it negative, just in the white. So there I am. And then let's come in and let's use the violet. There, I put less down, but I don't know that you can see it. All right. There, I put less down. That way I don't waste any. I'm definitely going to have to lift this. Oh, see, I went out of my lines. Should have lifted it earlier. Because it's transparent, it's hard to see. Once you lift it, it's easy. But when it's laying flat, a little bit of a challenge. And my only job is to stay in the lines. And even then, if I mess up, I can go and add a little water and just lift it. That's very cool. Look at how beautiful is she. Oh my goodness gracious. And so easy. A little bit of red on her cheek. And a little bit of color in her hair. If I really wanted to color, we could do her whole body. Just not sure I want to do it. I love the wings. See, and look at that metallic coming through. Now that it's all dry, look at it, just comes right back on through. Once the paint and the watercolor pencil is dry or the acrylic ink is dry, it just comes back through. Now this is using these pearl in a way that it isn't typical for that. Oh, I didn't finish her. Oh, I did. Okay. It isn't typical for it. I feel like she needs a little more red, but that's okay. Look at how beautiful. And we didn't use embossing powder. We didn't use embossing medium. Not that there's anything wrong with it. You just have options. Sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to play with your embossing powder and you want to get those out and do them that way. Sometimes you're just as happy stamping in a beautiful gold that dries instantaneously and away you go. You have choices. So let's see. Well, I guess I can just leave this here. Let's see. Let's decide what. I just want a little bit more red on her cheek. Just a dot more red. There we go. She just needed a little more red on her cheek. Better. So let me back up a little bit and let's get this one done. Okay. So have you already got the acrylic inks in the pearl colors? I'll tell you, pearl white is sold out. So pearl white is like a white, but it's Royal Talens is trying to get it back, and it's got to come all the way over from really close to Amsterdam. So it doesn't get here quickly. But they're hoping to have some maybe in December. We'll see. Still think too much. They're back. I don't know if it's a midnight thing. Well, it's later than midnight. I'm going to put her on just a little bit of black. Do I want to pop her up? No, I'll put her down and then we'll maybe pop up the whole thing. Okay. Anybody see? Oh, there it is. I was going to say, anybody see where my Stacey tape went? Making sure my lids are on. These fairy stamps, they're grown up, they're beautiful. But they're not cutesy. That's for sure. They're not cutesy fairies, they're grown up fairies. I think that's where I want it. So I think I'll take it and I'll pop it on this one. I don't know if I want to cut it or not. I can't decide, but I do need to put a sentiment. So let's find the sentiments. All right, so fairies sentiments. It has spread your wings, fairies, add a little sparkle, fly high, believe, embrace the magic. And embrace the magic will fit there. That's good. So let's grab a piece of white paper. And a block. And before I stamp this white paper, I'm gonna, oh, that one's not gonna be big enough. I'm gonna add a little bit of magic to it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that green right to my paper. I want it to shimmer. So I am making my own shimmer paper, and I can make it in any color that I have in that pearl. I made my own shimmer paper. No, it's not plain white. It's shimmer. And it's in that same shimmer green as I did her wings. So now I can take my black waterproof ink from Jacquard. That feels pretty good. Embrace the magic. There we go. Now all we have to do is trim it out. I made my own shimmer paper. Wahahaha. All right, let's try that. Maybe a little bit more off the top. And let's put it in the black. And then I think we'll call it done. The girls have made so many samples for you. I stamped when it still was a little wet. I feel like I stamped when it was still a little wet. Okay, shimmer. We're going to do it again because I felt like it was still a little wet. So maybe while I'm waiting for that, I decide what to do with this. Do I cut or do I not? I know, you're like, what did you just do? I know. But you don't know until you know. You don't know until you know. That feels dry. They all came out so pretty. I feel bad I'm not going to make samples out of all of them. That's not sticky. This isn't sticky. It's just how a gel plate works. It's amazing. Again, like with that, I didn't know what I didn't know until I knew it, and now I don't want to give it up. In fact, I want the bigger one. I think there's a 9x12 gel plate. I think I have to try it. So I ordered it for me. It'll be my Christmas present to me. And then this one feels better. It feels dry. So let's try and stamp again and see if I do a better job. One, two, three, A, B, C. So much better. And I still have my shimmer, but that's way better. This was just, it was too wet. Even my cutting is better on this one. Oh, that's way better. I'm glad I redid it. I was not happy. Look at, well, I'll hold it up once I get it down and you'll see the difference. The paper was still wet. Okay, look at the difference between the stamped images. My first one, blah. My second one, yes. First one, no. Second one, yes. My first one was my practice one. How fine can you get that, Matt? All right, there it goes. Whew, I got one done. I just left a little bit of that paper off to the side. Oh, look at that. Okay, that makes my heart happy. I want to do all of them, but there's not enough time. But I love all of them. There's her wings, and there she's shiny, and there's her wings, and there's she, and acrylic ink. Embossing powder, acrylic ink. Oh, there she is. But look at, I put a little bit of that violet on those wings. Oh, and look at the acrylic ink shine and shimmer. Yeah, we're gonna save these, and we're gonna finish these. They're too pretty to not do. Now, the only thing about the gel plate is that my little paper pieces stick to it. That's the only thing. But then I wipe it on down, and instant presto, all is right with the world. All right, so what did we do today? A ton. We started with just making some easy peasy cards, just out of that beautiful Paper Favorites paper. I mean, these were as easy as could be. And the sentiments from Katie Sue, they're not stickers. You can die cut them. You get over 130 sentiments. Look at how pretty those are. But then we moved into playing with the acrylics and stamping and using the metallics as opposed to using embossing powder. Now we're going to put the WOW on sale for you. We'll put the heat tool and the embossing medium and all the different colors we have in the super fine. That's all going to be on sale for you. But we're also going to put all the metallic acrylics and the pearl acrylics on sale for you, because that's where the magic happens in those fairies. We have a whole bunch of different sets of colored pencils for you from Brazil. Pay attention to whether it says watercolor pencil or colored pencils. We've got them both up for sale because Brazil is definitely not coming back. And so when they gotta go, and we put them at 50% off. I used the 12-pack today, and it did everything I needed it to do, plus a little bit more. But we've got sets, we've got all sorts of sets, including that whopper of a set, the coloring and drawing. So this gives you your colored pencils, your watercolored pencils, plus the metallics are in here. The metallic colored pencils are in here. The watercolor pencils are in here. You get 2 pencil sharpeners, and then your colored pencils are in here as well. This is the whopper of them. But when they're gone, they're gone. As is Brazil. Oh, it hurts my heart. I don't think the company is going anywhere. I think just bringing them into the United States is no longer an option. So I was so sorry to hear that. So we have all of that for you. We have the stamps. so set number 1. Has all of the different fairies for you. It's the one we used today. All the different fairies. The ladybugs, the butterflies, oh my gosh. And the sentiments. And your last, gosh, how many fairies are in here? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the butterflies and the sentiments. So that will give you all the fairies in the collection. And it's on sale, regularly $130, on sale for $99.99, which means free shipping, but we also have them completely open stock for you. And then all the little add-ons, which are darling in their own right. They're the same price. You're gonna get 10 sets, so $129.99 down to $99.99. We've got the snails, and you'll see these in the samples. The willow tree, the frogs, the toads, and the toadstools. The little spider web. I did this one today, the lotus. The lily, calla lily. The vines and the grapes. The jars. This is beautiful. Wait till you see tomorrow's sample. And the ladybugs. I knew there were ladybugs. Now, if you're a Lavinia fan, all of these are going to work awesome with Lavinia as well. They're right up the same alley. So if you're into Lavinia, this is going to be great for you as well. So 2 separate bundles on the fairies or open stock. And I want it all on the paper for under $23, or open stock. The birthday wishes, all the sentiments from Katie Sue, open stock, and then all of the metallics and pearl acrylics along with the embossing powders. All right, let's look at samples. So now I'm going to take this and move this out of my way. And I have got oodles of samples for you. So here's mine. Look at how pretty. So done with the stamps. There's the Vine and Berries stamp. There's the paper. There's the paper. And our lovely little fairy, and add a little sparkle. And here's just the paper. Oh, I should be telling you who did these. This one was Gail. And this one was Mary. So honorary SMS girl Gail, honorary SMS girl Mary. This one was done by Tamara. Look at, she did the ladybugs, and she fussy cut them, and she glazed them. She fussy cut the butterfly out. She used the same paper. Look at that. She fussy cut all of that and layered it right on top. Wow, is that striking. Embrace the Magic. Again, using the Paper Favorites paper. Here, using the berries and the vines. Aren't those a beautiful stamp to go around? The butterflies were fussy cut out. Oh, she did. This one was done by one of the one of the design team for the Craft Consortium. And this one was done by Catherine. This one was done with Claire, and she just used some watercolor and then stamped her snails in the willow. This one was done by Patty, and she just used the paper and a sentiment. Let it be. Oh, this one's beautiful. This one was done by Dortina. See, I should have left more space like you did. Beautiful. And this one was done by Dortina. You've got the butterflies going on with the butterflies in the background. And this one was done by Craft Consortium, one of their designers. This is done by Elizabeth Hogarth. Look at how pretty. And then this one was done by honorary SMS girl Patty, using the Paper Favorites paper. This one was done by Catherine. Her little toads on the toadstools. Paper Favorites paper in the background. Here we have Believe, with just a little bit of a reveal, but the wings are done. And Embrace the Magic, again, just the paper. And this was done by Patty. Easy, quick, done. She loved the paper. These are her colors. All of this paper was her colors. Oh, this one's pretty. Claire, this is beautiful. So you've got the Paper Favorite paper in the background, and they did it all with the watercolor pencils. All the coloring was done with the watercolor pencils. Oh, and Katie, talk about the perfect paper, Katie. Wow. So we've got the Paper Favorites in the background, and you've got your toads on your toadstools. And then Dream. So our fairy with the word dream above her. Also done by Katie. And this one was done by Janie Quinn from Craft Consortium, their design team. And this one was done by Gail Mans, also part of the Craft Consortium design team. I'm not done. So we did this one together, and we did this one together, and we did this one together, and Claire did this one, where she did a slimline and she fussy cut and made her own decoupage. And Claire did here. Look at, isn't that beautiful? And honorary SMS girl Gail, who's on a cruise right now. Her fairy's beautiful. All the paper is from Paper Favorites. So pretty. Oh, and this one's beautiful. Dortina. Again, all the paper from Paper Favorites. And I used this stamp today. And this is Patty. She's embossed and she's die cut and she's stamped and just a little bit of watercolor. And that's it, a little bit of colored pencil, watercolor pencils. And that's all she needed. This is beautiful. Love, love, love. This is the one from tomorrow. Oh my gosh. She fussy cut that out and put it on that paper, and it is magical. That little ladybug, it is so good. And then here, happy birthday out of the paper. This is Claire. Look at how pretty is that? And simple, easy. Ooh, dramatic. Happy birthday from Claire. Claire, you were busy. This is very dramatic. I love it. Look at how pretty. Simple, easy, elegant, done. Now this was done by the Craft Consortium design team. And this is Julie Lavalette. Beautiful, Julie. And this one was done by Tamara. Easy, beautiful, done. This one was done by the design team, Craft Consortium, by Anne Marie. And here, a true friend is the rarest of all blessings. Look at all done with that paper with the lavender. Gail, stunning, Gail, really stunning. And then it's followed by another stunning Dortina. Stunning. Which is followed by another stunning. You guys did a great job. This is also Dortina. And this one is by Julie Lavalette from the Craft Consortium design team. And then the last one is by Katie, honorary SMS girl Katie. And then the very last thing, well, I have a few last things for you. Let's do these first. So these were done by the Craft Consortium design team. Amazing, right? This was done by Leslie Kilby. Oh my gosh, Leslie, hello. Amazing. And then this one was done by Leslie Kilby. Okay, I have to remember how to open it. Okay, so yeah, so you open this way, and then you fold that way, and then it stands that way. Oh, is that good? Look at this, Leslie. Oh my gosh, girl. Holy smokes, artichokes. This is beautiful. Beautiful. And then this is done by Gail Mans. You just push the edges together and that pops it out and then it'll stand. Beautiful, Gail. And then the last thing I do have to show you is a layout. And this one was done by Mary, honorary SMS girl Mary, using the paper from Paper Favorites, and she fussy cut the butterfly out. Really great. All right, you guys. Ooh, it's long. It's late. But we had a good time, right? We had a good time, right? Yay? Okay, so the fairies you might be able to find in a lot of different places. The stamps are available, widely available. We have them on sale. We have a deep discount on the I Want It All bundle. We have the open stock on sale. The Paper Favorites is a little more tricky. I believe you'll only find that really here at Scrapbooking Made Simple for those 3 paper pads. They're beautiful. The acrylic inks you can find in your local art store perhaps. And if you don't have one, well then of course we're available for that too. And the pencils, the colored pencils or the watercolor pencils, you may already have sets. You don't need to get new sets if you have sets. But if you would like a really nice set or you don't have a set, we have the Brunzil on sale for 50% off. It's got to go. We're not going to be able to get it again. So I leave it all up to you. I have a hard time saying no to any of it. If you saw what was over there, it's shameful. all my little tubs of goodies. So it is me, Stacey, here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, saying thank you for hanging with me. These are full-length classes. They are here to teach you and to show you and to share with you and really bring the community of crafting together and the community of fine art together and make us all one big happy family. So the next time I see you will be Monday for our next Make It Monday event, where we bring you one huge value for itty bitty teeny weeny tiny little price. Like over $100 for $24.99 or $19.99. Yeah, it's that kind of a deal. So I'll see you Monday, everybody. Have a great weekend. And again, thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for live chatting. If you were here during the premiere, I love spending this time with you. Until Monday, everybody. Bye.